let's talk about USC Notre Dame, give you my preview and prediction. So USC's coming into this game 6-0 and Notre Dame at 4-2. And I think this game could have had a lot more hype for it if Notre Dame was undefeated, or at least maybe 5-1. And also if USC is playing better football. Because even though they're undefeated right now, if they don't play well in this game, there's a good chance they could have a few more losses on this schedule. And so the implications for playoffs or anything like that might not be there if USC doesn't play well. And Notre Dame's already out. They're already out of the playoffs. So the thing is for USC and Notre Dame, the rivalry, that's great. But if USC loses it, it's not the end of the world in terms of the chance to win a Pac-12 title. For Notre Dame, there's a little bit at stake for them. I mean, if you can't make it to the playoffs or national championship or anything like that, then if they can just beat USC, then that can salvage a season for them, and that can be something they can look forward to. Because again, they're not in a conference. They're an independent team, so USC is, this is going to be their game. And so if they lose this game, then it could put Marcus Freeman, their head coach, in a little tricky of a situation. His seat might get a little warm, by the end of this year, and then going into next year, he's going to start feeling a little bit more pressure. So, yeah, I mean, maybe this, like I said, this game isn't going to have the hype that it did before, but it's still important for USC and Notre Dame fans. I'd say Notre Dame fans more. But comparing the teams, I understand that, like with Notre Dame, they didn't play very well in their last game against Louisville. But I'm not ready to kind of look at that and judge Notre Dame by that one performance. That to me seems like that was only really, I guess, one bad game that they've played all season. I mean, I know they lost to Ohio State, but that was literally at the last second. And yeah, they beat Duke by a touchdown. It was on the road, and it's a ranked Duke team. So, and then they took care of business in their other games. So, to me, I don't think they're as bad as people say, and even Notre Dame fans. I know some Notre Dame fans might be ready to just throw in the towel, but I would say don't get too down on yourself and on your team just yet, because USC football, while they have their strengths, we've seen already this team is not perfect. But defensively, I don't need to say anything more than that. So, like looking at Notre Dame and their stats, and you could say, well, whatever, they're not maybe averaging as many points offensively as they could be, or yardage, and that might, for USC, looking at that, you might think, oh well, USC should do pretty well in this situation. But I don't think so, because we've seen enough games now. We've seen at least 3 games, maybe 4 if you count San Jose State, of teams being able to run the ball, pass against this USC defense. And these would be in situations where teams were banged up down to the third string quarterback or second string. Teams that shouldn't have done well in the run game, by the numbers, but then they play against USC, and then they play the game of their life. And this is a common theme, and it's hard to see how anything could be different until proven otherwise. I mean, I understand maybe with this rivalry game, USC might step it up and make some stops. I know USC, for example, last year, they stepped up for this Notre Dame game, and they stopped their running back, Audric Estime, who's a very great running back. They controlled him pretty well last year. How well will they do it this year? That remains to be seen. But looking at, this Notre Dame team, it clearly is the best one that USC has faced to date. Defensively, still, I would say still very good. Arizona was a good kind of test for USC, and I would expect something similar from Notre Dame. Offensively, again, probably, I'd say probably the better or the best of offenses in terms of their offensive line, their quarterback play, passing at least. I don't know how much of a mobile quarterback Sam Hartman is, but this is probably the best running back USC has faced to date. So yeah, this is going to be a very challenging game. And like I said, I'm not ready to overlook them, despite whatever challenges they have. And for USC and those fans, we're not really in any position to start celebrating a win just yet or anything like that. So I think for USC, it's a winnable game. I would say it definitely is, but I would say things have to work a little bit. The stars have to align a little bit more. The weather could be a factor in this game. It's not like our guys on our team haven't played in the rain before. It's not like this whole roster is just a bunch of guys from Southern California who've never played in rain in their life. You do have, guys on this team from all over the country who would probably have a lot of experience playing in the rain. And yes, it does rain in Southern California, and guys, will have those chances to play in the rain. Maybe not as much as in other parts of the country, but occasionally it does happen. But nonetheless, that could be a factor working against USC. Again, playing on the road. It'd be interesting to see if Zach Branch can play in this game, because if he can, I think that'll make a big difference and really open up the offense. We hope he will. But like I said, this is going to be USC's biggest challenge to date. And what's interesting about this USC schedule is how it's been kind of very gradual and linear in terms of how the challenges increase, almost game by game, at least since the Stanford one. And as we've seen, USC they've been winning the games, not as convincingly. They've been winning them by smaller and smaller margins. And it almost feels like you're just kind of watching this kind of storm come in, and it's just kind of inching closer and closer to a point where, eventually you might get a loss. And so I gotta make my prediction, and kind of looking at this kind of what we've seen with this team, it's clear to me that when tougher games arise, this could present a loss. And so I think we're at that point. I'm not sure how well, I would like to be proven wrong. It's better to be proven wrong in cases where you underestimate your team, but that's how I'm feeling right now. So I think USC, unfortunately, they're going to lose this game. I think the score is probably going to be Notre Dame. I'm going to say another 41. I feel like I've made that use that number. Maybe it's not my second time. I'm going to say Notre Dame 41, USC 31. I hate saying that. I know some people might criticize it, but it's been a little bit hard to be super confident in this team based on what we've seen the last couple weeks. Again, I'll be here to celebrate if I can be proven wrong, but I don't think I'm really in any position to be assuming an easy win. And I mean, in preseason, I would have said USC wins this game. I really would have. And I wanted to, because the last 4 or 5 times they've played at Notre Dame, I would have predicted losses for USC. I don't think they were in positions to win those games. But this year, I felt like they would be in a position, and maybe they are a little bit better position than they were in previous years. But I'm just not sure that they are that they're just there for this game based on what we've seen with the defense. So that's really my concern there. You know, I'm a big SC fan. I don't like predicting losses for the team, but I'm just trying to be a little practical and realistic based on what I've seen the last couple games. So if we can be proven wrong, great. But till then, fight on.